Welcome to the Collaborative. I'm your host, Sydnee Walker, along with Aaron Mulligan, who is filling in as guest co-host for Ryan Ballis. Today, we are joined by ESPN NFL front office insider, Mike Tannenbaum. He appears on a variety of ESPN platforms, including Get Up, First Take, SportsCenter, and NFL Live. In addition to his ESPN role, he started the 33rd team with a vision to bring the insider insights to the public and help students accomplish their dreams in the process. He graduated from UMASS Amherst with a degree in accounting. Welcome.
Great to be with you guys.
So first up, we have Sid's This or That Breakfast Edition. So first up, orange juice or apple juice?
Good question. I live in Florida, so I got to go with orange.
I'm going with apple juice, but good choice. Toast or biscuit?
Oh, definitely toast. Whole wheat with some peanut butter on it. Good source of protein.
Bacon or sausage?
I'm a little bit of a turkey bacon person.
I completely agree with that. Turkey bacon for the win. And last but not least, coffee or tea?
Hot tea for sure.
I'm going with some Starbucks coffee.
All right.
So Mike, we all know what you do, but we're going to talk about your who. You have a passion for helping others, which led to the creation of the 33rd team. Why is it so important for you to give back to the next generation?
Because I was unbelievably fortunate and choose a job you love. You never work a day in your life. And I got to run a couple of NFL teams. And when I had the economic wherewithal, it was important to my parents and my wife to create some scholarships where we could help others get to where they want to go. Because I know so many people helped me when they didn't need to. I just feel like I have a responsibility to pass that on to others.
I love that. And we definitely can see that through your work. So thank you for sharing that.
Hi, Mike. It's nice to virtually meet you.
You too?
So when you were about to graduate college, you were offered a job which you declined, and then your parents drove 2 hours to tell you that they support you, but that you were on your own. What was the whole experience like when you decided to stick to sports, especially when you started out working for free in minor league baseball?
Yeah. Well, first of all, A++ for doing your research. I don't know. I guess I'm either stubborn or not self-aware, but I don't know. I just felt for me, I was an accounting major at UMass. I had a really good job, and my parents were fortunate enough to pay for my college, and I just didn't want to do that. So I turned down in those days, back in 91, a very well-paying job that I could have more than supported myself. And my folks said, hey, if you want to, chase this crazy dream of working in sports, go for it, but you're on your own. And I was able to get a job working at the Pittsfield, Massachusetts post office from 11 at night to 7 in the morning, sorting mail. And that allowed me to pay my bills so I could work for the baseball team. And it was really based on that experience that I knew how much I wanted to work in sports.
Thank you for sharing that, especially for this group. It's very inspiring, a bunch of aspiring sports broadcasters.
That's what it's all about. Choose a job you love and you never work a day in your life.
Mike, as a former general manager, how has your perspective changed when watching and prepping for a football game?
Well, I think, when you have the privilege of one of those jobs, your job is really to be like the problem solver for the organization and making sure that you're putting everyone in the best position to be successful. And, the games themselves, I would say one of the tough things is when you get to the pinnacle of your career, you expect to win. And when you lose, it's really, really hard. And when you win, it's almost like the absence of agony. So it's, there's a lot of pressure. And let's face it, the NFL is so popular and football is so popular. So, it's one of those things where you do everything within reason to be successful, put everyone you can to be in the best position to be successful. And then whatever happens from there, you live with the consequences.
I definitely like that approach. Did you see any challenges as you made the transition from the front office role to more of a broadcast role?
I thought a lot of the same fundamental precepts still apply. I'll give you guys a great example. I'm very lucky to be on Get Up, and Mike Greenberg's a Hall of Famer. And being on that show, I really get to go a little bit behind the curtains, which is we'll start and I just so happen to be on tomorrow morning. I've already spoken to a producer this afternoon about some things that I think would be good for the show. And then we have a production meeting at 6 a.m. So by the time you see the actual show at 8 a.m., it's literally the third time that each topic has been vetted and discussed. And, you show me someone successful, I'll show you someone that knows how to prepare. And, one of the things that, Nick Saban will just talk about, endlessly is, process over results. And I think the best people at their respective professions, whatever it may be, they're much more fixated on, how they're doing it, and let the process lead to a great result, not just be fixated on the result itself.
I really love that. And there's something our group can really take away from that insight. So thank you.
So, Mike, since you did work in the front offices of NFL teams, did you always see yourself ending up in your job position that you have now?
No, I never in a million years. After my time in Miami ended, I was just in the right place with the right time with ESPN, and to be hired by the number one network in the world, covering the number one sport. I just realize how every day, like, how unbelievably lucky I am, and I just try to over deliver, do more than what's asked of me, and really just try to figure out how I can create value to the discussion and to the coverage of the sport.
Also, I read that you're an avid reader, and you read a lot about leadership and business practices. Where does all that drive come from?
Well, so one of my mentors a number of years ago said to me, the key to life is what you learn once you know it all. And you're either getting better or you're staying stationary. And I don't know, I like to be challenged. Candidly, that's one of the reasons I went to law school, and I teach a class at Columbia now, and I find the students to be a great source of motivation for me because they're so smart and so well prepared. So for me, I just like to be around people that bring out the best in me.
A person you've had the pleasure of working with throughout your career is the great Bill Parcells. What did he teach you that still proves true today?
There's take a long time to answer that question. I would go back to preparation, understanding how you're going to be perceived by a group, not the way you think you're going to be perceived by a group. Words matter. Understanding what other people want is really important. Understanding that it's not a one size fits all approach. Work your tail off. It's funny. With this position now, I travel a fair amount, and when we used to go on trips for Coach Parcells, one of the things he always used to do is you had to come back that night, come back to the office, unpack your bag, fill out your expense report, because he wanted you back in the office the following morning, ready to go. And, today I might come home and maybe a late night and I may be exhausted, and coach's words are like in the back of my mind, like, hey, unpack your bag, get your desk set back up, put your clothes away, and tomorrow morning, like, we gotta go crush it. So, when tomorrow comes, we're gonna hit the ground running.
I absolutely love that. And I can tell you have great admiration for him. So thanks for sharing a little bit of what he taught you.
As a Giants fan, I love hearing about that, how great of a role model he was. So, Mike, you seem to be very close with your family, not only your wife, Michelle, and daughter Ella, but obviously like your parents as well. How do you balance your work and personal lives so that you have family time?
Yeah, well, to quote the great philosopher Rex Ryan, there's two types of football families: great ones and X ones. And I know, like, my wife is really, really good about understanding, like, all the sacrifices that come with running a team. And I would say that, with my folks, my dad worked in transit, and they always gave us everything we wanted. Not everything we wanted, but things we needed. And it's just been, I feel great that I've been able to repay them back in some small ways.
Would you say that your family is where you developed your love of sports from, or where did that passion come from?
Yeah, I wish I had a great answer for that. It was really like the one thing I was good at growing up, and it was I grew up in Boston, and Red Auerbach was the GM of the Celtics. I was always fascinated by him, and growing up, I had breakfast a lot with my mom, and the Boston Globe was one of those types of newspapers that you could pull apart the sections, kind of like the USA Today. And every morning when we were having breakfast, I would always ask for the sports section. And she always used to say to me, at some point when you grow up, you're going to have to get a real job. And I always thought in the back of my mind, well, why can't my real job be in sports?
Lastly, you mentioned in a previous article that you're always trying to put yourself in a position where you can add value and continue to learn. What would be your best piece of advice to a group like this that's looking to add value in their careers?
Be great listeners, be great question askers. Never go into a meeting, an interview for a job, media, where you don't know more about the person you're meeting with. I gotta tell you, like, I could just tell by your questions tonight, your preparation, you're well on your way to doing that. It's just amazing how preparation gives you confidence. Confidence gives you the platform to be the absolute best version of yourself. And, instead of telling people how much you love something or why you're a big fan of and you want to do something, be much more specific about how specifically you can create value for your boss or a client. And sometimes that subtle nuance is really important. And I think the last thing I would lead you guys with is mindset, which is oftentimes when I speak to younger people, they're always asking, how do I get a job in sports or how do I get a job in broadcasting? And I always say, like, modulate that just slightly. You're not looking for a job, you're looking to build a career. And that's a subtle but an important difference because you're looking to meet people, you're looking to do things like this, like podcasts, you're looking to go to conferences, and you're just looking to make progress. And we could end with a great Coach Parcells saying, which was, we're not in the business of scoring touchdowns, we're in the business of making first downs. And if you look at your career, guys, think about, let's just stack one good first down on top of the next, and you're going to score tons of touchdowns. Just don't wake up tomorrow expecting that touchdown. Just expect to try and make a first down and go from there.
I love that. Thank you. That's amazing advice. And we all can take something away from that and add value wherever we are going next in our career. Mike, thank you so much for your time today. It was so great hearing from you. You're a mastermind behind all things NFL and the business. So I really enjoyed hearing about your personal life as well as what it took for you to get into this business. So thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, and great work on your preparation, and best of luck. I hope everybody achieves their dreams, regardless of whatever that may be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. It was an honor hearing from you and speaking with you.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Aaron, for co-hosting.